All right, I want to get into some film from the Jets game to show a bunch of things I've talked about: leverage, legitimate play action, life before and after Hill. But McDaniel brought out some old stuff we haven't seen for a while, which is play action rollouts, and had a lot of success. Now, some of that success is based off Hill being there, them being heavy man coverage. I don't know why they did heavy man coverage. It's what they do, though. And a lot of blitzing. But you're going to see the linebackers playing pretty tight, lots of people buying a play action, and stuff opening up. And that's what we're going to need to do going forward. But without Hill spread wide with Waddle, you're going to see a lot more looks that you see in this Jets game. Probably not as much man, though. Here we go. First play. Tua gets instant pressure from Jonah, forced to get on the move, and has to throw a rough pass here. Oof. Ollie gets blasted. Not pretty. But let's look at Jonah. He actually had some improvement in some areas. I saw him take his first step. We'll see that play later on. That's a step forward. Very minor one. A lot of the same stuff with his technique. But you can see it right here. Quinnen Williams, not easy beat. And what you can't see on the other side is Quinnen has his other arm locked. Jonah's slow to deliver the hands, and then he just gets tossed off because he's got bad balance, hands are late to arrival, and then the pressure. This is not a successful way. You see right here, his hands are late on the arrival. It's like a gunslinger. Got to get the hands out quicker with more pop, and then he overreaches, and then the beat. Inside run here, and you see Brewer gets stood up. Borum tries to get to the other side. He gets freed up, and then Brewer's guy gets the leverage on the inside where it's going to go play side, and then nowhere to go. But nice little run to pick up some extra by Achane. Little guy, 180 pounds. Look at that. Nice cut inside, splits, picks up a few yards. Oh, he takes that blast. I hated 44 being there. That hurts. He could have fallen forward, but 44 stands him up. That's how you get your knees and ankles messed up. Pressure on the outside, but the key to this, go back to the start. There's Hill in the slot inside. Look at that safety. He's giving him 17, 16 yards. And that's what Hill's going to do. And without Hill, you're not going to see that. But that creates the leverage for that safety to be off. And Tua gets a little pressure inside. There's some failings, but Tua delivers a nice ball here. But that's all about leverage created by Hill. And that will be gone. The pressure here. Achane does his best to pick it up, but 44 blows right through him. But Hill does a good job giving the leverage, and Tua does a nice job throwing it. Now, look at all these guys. We have not seen this since forever. You'd see two guys high, linebackers playing 5-6 yards off the ball. And here you go. And this is, we're going to need slants too. And Waddle's just not the greatest at it. And without Hill, it creates the ability to play these looks. So you got a single high safety. He's got his eye on the backside if Waddle's going to do something. And nice coverage by the DB who's up in his grill. And you got a free rusher, so he's got to get rid of the balls. Only plays. And Waddle's just not big enough to muscle his way in. But those are the kind of plays we need. And that's maybe something you can get from some other guys besides Waddle. And this is something we need to. We saw it a lot in preseason, the little outs. Now, this is Hill doing it, but there's other guys. Washington showed he could do it. 4-man rush, keeping 5 guys in to protect. And you are not beating Hill on an out with a linebacker, but you could replace that with Waddle or Washington. And this is what we're going to need to do, these little small ball plays. Here you go, the handoff inside. Now, this could have been a big, big play. It's not easy on Paul, who blows the assignment. But look at the leverage of the end out there. And he's figuring he's playing outside. I got to get outside to get him. And he just cuts back inside against the flow. Okay. And I know you want to get that guy. You're trying to get the guy. You think he missed the block. But Achane so fast he runs past him. But now right there, if Paul had picked up 44, look at that space. That could have been a big touchdown. But Achane still outruns the second guy and picks up a good run, but you bring it back right there. Paul gets taken. He's like, uh-oh, and he stops. But if he just trusted, look, he's not getting back there. It's a growing period with him being a second year. If he picked up 44, that could have been a touchdown. Here you go with the pass play and some instant pressure. Tua's got to get out. I mean, you talk about they didn't give up sacks. They should have. And throw to Hill. And this, I mean, two guys get beat pretty bad. Borum gets beat. Jonah just, that's bad. But Tua does a good job rolling out, flipping his hips. Nice delivery, good. But take a look at this defeat inside. Look at Borum at left tackle. Jonah. Slate hands to a rival. No balance, gets thrown aside. And Tua does a good job. But that's not a model to build success over. Play action. Legitimate. Look at everybody biting. Everybody and their mother and the grandmother and everybody. Look at this. And then you get the backflow drag by Hill. Again, this could be anybody. It doesn't have to be Hill. But legitimate play action and the catch. Look at everybody biting. And this is what Tua can do, and we should have done for a long time. I mean, Jets suck, but you can get this. And when it's going to get a little less without Hill, but that's still something to carry over. Look, Borum gets the spin inside, and Tua knows where he's going early. Look where he throws the ball, right here. I think this one gets called back by Borum. But what a beautiful play. And you can see why Tua is always worried about his legs. Borum's at his feet. 350-pound, 40-pound guy, your knee. Beautiful throw. Good call. Shame it was called back. Here we go. 6 guys in the box. Nice run here. Jonah doubles with Brewer. Nice block right there. Is that Tana? Yeah, look at Tana. Bang. Jonas flows this guy down. Nice move by Ali. Stab inside. I think he should have just put his foot back in the ground, but he gets a little antsy and bounces it out. Paul can't control his guy. Dips his head. One hand on the outside shoulder, which means you're giving him inside access. Can't control him. I think he should just put his nose up there, but, and then there's an ugly hit at the end. Could have been ugly. Lots of guys in the box on both sides. Handoff here, and don't get really much of anything, but a little bit more on the patience of Ali, but it's exasperated by Strange and Paul. So you get the snap, and then Paul's trying to wash him down, but then he gets too much inside penetration, and Strange coming across the figures. I got to take care of him, which he probably should, I guess, maybe. But if he had just kept on going and picked his guy up, maybe Ollie could have then done his bounce outside or just sprinted past and pass an arm tackle. But he's forced back inside, and that really comes through because Paul let that inside pressure too much. So, look, he's pushing, he's around the shoulder pad, which is no good, and then he throws him inside, which it throws him into the open spot, which gives him inside access, and then Strange got to pick him up. So that started with Paul. Maybe Strange should have kept going, maybe not. It's very hard when you're going across the line of scrimmage like that and you see, so you naturally want to go in there. And then this is, look, you could say Waddle's the guy to be open, but I think that's Hill or Waddle's got an easy out touchdown here. But Brewer and Jonah get driven back, so the throwing lane's congested, and then a beautiful play here, or that would have been a touchdown. Maybe the protection would have been better. He would have had a better throwing lane. Maybe he should have read earlier, but that was an open play. And great play by the defense, and the offensive line could have done better. And this is there's many places on the field that you can attack. You can attack vertical, horizontal. You can attack the interior, and you can attack vertical. And that's a beautiful play by both Waller, getting open right there, and then Tua. He's got the anticipatory throws and the accuracy, and he just puts in the perfect spot, and a great toe tap by Waddle. We can now attack vertical, something we haven't done since the flood. Run here, and it blows up early. Paul again. It goes nowhere. Let's take a look again. So right here, Borum loses. He's totally being controlled here for any backside, but then Paul gets beat. It was a beautiful play, and he gets shut down, but I don't want to get on Paul too much. He's looking at the guy all the way outside, and watch the dummy shoulder. Bang! Right there. Beautiful move. And then you got the bad backside protection, and you got extra guys. But look at that move. That was a great move. I can't talk. The only thing I could say for Paul, he's extending too far out here. He's falling, and he's got his hands on his shoulders. You don't want to. You just roll right off that. So great move, but a little bad technique, a little more control from Paul. So that's that. You get the outside zone run here, and bang, right there. Paul gets stood up, condensing the leverage of the blocking, forcing the bounce outside, but beautiful block by Julian Hill. Riding, and then Achane with beautiful speed and a nice cutback, dancing through, then splits the double here, the tacklers, stumbles forward for about 4 more. Beautiful run. Look at all these guys in the box. 8 guys, I guess you can count 21, against 7 blockers. And then right there, again, you're seeing Paul get beaten. And then Jonah, I want to show you this one. He doesn't do it often, but look at his foot. I've talked about it. His foot comes up and comes down the same spot, but there is a little, look at this. It actually took about 3 or 4 inch step forward. So that's a little bit of growth there. It's got to be a little better. And then he gets driven down the line of scrimmage. Paul forces a little wide berth on the run. Quinnen Williams has come down the field, gets the arm there and slows the runner down. Nice block there at the end, but can't get there because it all starts here. Right there. Paul's pushed out, widening the angle, and then Jonah, it's not easy. Look at where he's got to get to. He does take the step, but Quinnen Williams is good. He controls him, sheds him, slows him down enough. But, man, if Quinnen Williams is not there, or if Paul doesn't get pushed back, he pushes his guy back. Look at 9. If 9 was pushed back in the lane of Quinnen Williams instead of getting beaten, that's a small guy too, then Quinnen couldn't have made it down the line of scrimmage, and you would have seen this without Quinnen there. And this block at the end by Brewer could have created a touchdown. And then you get this beautiful play action. 10 guys bite play action. Tua rolls out. Drag. Post turns into a post by Waddle. But it all comes down to this. Look at this. This is what I've been talking about. Everybody's in the box. Everybody's buying what you're selling. Everybody's coming up for the wrong thing. And that's the beauty of legit play action. Outside run, fake play action. In and out. Everybody's buying. Hope sells, but who's buying? They're buying it right here. And again, nice play inside to Waddle. I'd like to have seen Waddle take it out a little bit farther and beat this guy. That's something that probably Tyreek would have done. He's a little bit more explosive. But nice play again with legitimate play action. You get Brewer. He kind of gets beat, but he's battling. And Jonah washes his guy down with Paul. Nice little, little chip there by Ingold. And then right there, the seal block by Julian Hill. Nice. And then I love Achane's right there. He is decisive. Bang, right there you go, baby. Don't bounce that. Bam. And he picks up a couple extra. Very nice run. Good blocking. pass here, and you see Brewer getting walked back. And then Jonah fails his block, but this is what, again, Tua's got to see. He's got the guy in front of him. That's open. Throw it to him. But he's focused too much on Waller. And either A, he lets it out of his hands, or he throws it away because he doesn't want Waller to get lit up by the safety who's watching. But you bring it back. Brewer's getting driven back, but watch Jonah. His toes are pointing east and west, and he reaches. He's riding his shoulders, way over skis. And then Quinton Williams, I mean, not many guys can do this, 300-some pounds, does a spin. But Tua's got to see the open guy right in front of him. Stayed right there and picked him up. You could have had a successful run. So that's the plays. There is potential because you've got a powerful back in Ollie. You've got a very good, very fast, very fluid runner in Achane. Tua can do some things. He's got enough mobility, and you get legitimate play action. He can do stuff. Take Hill out of the equation, you're going to lose the leverage. You're going to see more of these stacked boxes with zone mixed coverages. It's going to be harder for Tua, who tends to, it's not that he can't read. I don't think he can. He just tends to fixate a little bit. And I think the poor pass blocking at times, very poor pass blocking at times, kind of doesn't set not the strengths of his skill set, which is under pressure, not tunneling in on a receiver. The run game has opportunities, but when you're going against a better defense, better front, better offense to put points on, better linebackers with that defense, and you're going to see that crowded box have more effect, more control of the run game. Clearly, Daniels coming in is going to definitely help a ton, but there's still a lot of weaknesses here. But there's a lot of the right philosophy in this thing, and we're going to need a lot more of that with Hill. So I hope you just enjoyed this overview. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.